Today, Hot Thai Kitchen goes to Thailand for a special episode. I'm gonna take you around Bangkok to discover the top 5 noodle soups that you should not miss when you're in Thailand. And as a bonus, we'll go and check out a dessert noodle soup to finish off our trip.
สวัสดีค่ะ So here we are in Soi Thong Law in the heart of Bangkok, and we're on our way to check out our first noodle soup on the list. Now, noodle soups are known collectively as Kway Teow, and there are so many different types. Today, I just want to show you my personal 5 recommendations. So let's start out with our first one, Yen Ta Pho. So we just put in our order and we're just waiting for it to arrive. Now, you might be wondering why I'm doing this whole thing on noodle soups. And I'm doing this because I think noodle soups is one of the dishes you definitely have to have while you're in Thailand for 2 reasons. From the standpoint of experiencing Thai culture, noodle soups have become an integral part of the basic Thai diet. Going to grab a bowl of kway teow for lunch is as common as going to grab a sandwich for lunch in the Western world. And from a more practical standpoint, you should have noodle soups while you're here because it's not easy to replicate at home. And it's not common for Thai restaurants overseas to offer them. Plus, noodle vendors here usually specialize in one particular type of noodles, so you should get the good stuff here while it's easy to do. So here it is, our Yen Ta Pho here. Now, Yen Ta Pho gets its uniqueness from this pink broth. I almost love it just because it's pink. And the pink broth gets its color from this sweet and sour red sauce, which gets its color from a fermented tofu that has a red mold in it. Now, Yen Ta Pho is always served with all sorts of fish balls and fish cakes. All these things are fish balls, fish cakes. Some of them are made with shrimp. There's always some dried squid involved. I'm not a big fan of this. This is pork blood right here. The broth is sweet and sour, really nice and well balanced, a little bit spicy. The sauce, the pink sauce, always has a little bit of spice, but not too much. A tip for ordering Yen Ta Pho is you can order something called Yen Ta Pho Hang or dry Yen Ta Pho, which means you get everything except the broth. And it's a nice option to have for when you are not feeling like soup today. So next up is a Chinese-style noodle soup called bami gyeo, which is egg noodles with wontons. And I'm here at a place by the Sutisan MRT subway station that apparently, when they're open, will have a line out the door every day. So let's go take a look. So here's our bami gyeo pu mu dang, and that in this bowl we've got gyeo, this shrimp wontons over here, crab meat, big lump crab meat, some Chinese barbecue pork, and all of this stuff makes for a really complex flavor. The broth is pretty simple and mellow. It's just a really nice pork broth, but it's all this different stuff that really brings the dish together. So well balanced that it reminds you of comfort food essentially. And if you want it a little more, more spicy, more sour, more salty, you've got all these condiments here: sweet, spicy, salty, and sour. It's all just right here. You can customize it according to your liking. So I'm here at a small floating market called Talat Nam Wat Taling Chan, and we're going to look at our next noodle soup called Kway Teow Tom Yum, or Tom Yum noodle soup. Now you may recognize the word Tom Yum as being that famous lemongrass soup, but this is a little bit different. So this is our Gui Tiao Tom Yum or Tom Yum noodles. Now what makes this a Tom Yum is the fact that it's flavored with lime juice, it's got chili flakes, and ground peanuts. Those are the three main characteristics of a Gui Tiao Tom Yum, and it usually involves ground pork. And now in here I've just got fresh pork, some crispy wontons, and some liver and intestine as well. It's sour, it's spicy, it's got a really strong flavor, but at the same time it's light because the broth is a light pork broth. And the nuttiness of the peanuts really balance out the acidity of this dish really, really well. Now you can customize and order whatever kind of noodles you want, but for this one I ordered sen mi, or these little thin noodle threads right here. So we've seen a few different types of noodle soup so far. Let's take a little break and take a look at different ways you can customize your noodles the way you want it. There are many, many things you could do to your noodles to change it up. So I'm going to teach you a few of those useful words that you can use for when you come here to order them. First, let's take a look at different types of noodles. There are 4 major types of noodles you can choose from. First is sen yai, or the biggest of all the noodles, this wide rice noodles here. Now, we also use the word sen yai for the chow fan noodles that I use in pad see or pad keema and things like that. But that kind is usually bigger and more sturdy because this is very, very delicate. It's very soft and it won't hold up in a stir fry. But in the noodle soup, it's got a very kind of melt in your mouth, velvety mouth feel. It's very nice. Second, we've got sen lek, or small noodles right here, very similar to the ones you find in the Vietnamese pho, and it's a little bit chewier than the sen yai, so if that's what you like, you can go with that one. And then we've got the smallest of all noodles, which is sen mi, also rice noodles. And sen mi, when you eat it, there's a lot more going on in your mouth because you've got more noodles at any given point, so it's kind of fun to eat. And then finally we've got banh mi, which is the only egg noodles of these 4 and also the only one that's made with wheat flour. So not for those of you who are gluten intolerant, but it is the chewiest of all. So if you like a good chew for your noodles, you can order banh mi. There are some noodles that come already spicy, such as boat noodles or tom yum noodles. So if your spice tolerance isn't super high, you can tell them to tone it down a little bit. Pt. Noi is what you would use to make it less spicy, but still a little bit spicy. Okay? Mai Pt is for when you want it no spicy at all. Finally, if you want to take your noodles home, you can use the phrase "ao klap ban," which means I want to take it home. And that's all for your little noodle ordering lesson.